ready. Cyril's here. Hi, Luquette. Bonjour. Alan Wang. Hi, Theo. Oh, here she comes. We've got a fun little surprise in today's
Hello. Hello, my friends.
Hi,
Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
I told you I would only do this if I could be on my horse.
That's hilarious. I love it. Give me 1 second.
So, welcome everybody. Can you turn up the volume a little? That's all right. Welcome.
Every time I'm on the phone with Alexa, my Amazon Alexa goes off thinking I'm talking to it. So I just unplugged it to prevent that. It's a beautiful day up here in Napa. How's it in Los Angeles, Alexa?
Absolutely beautiful here in Los Angeles.
I've heard you guys are getting quite the heat wave.
Yeah, we are. It was really hot. I don't know. It was above 90 today.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So I'm going to put Indigo away so that I can come talk to you and join you all.
Okay, great.
But he's going to stay with us throughout the...
Awesome. Yeah, I want to be able to share some of his tricks that you've shown me at the winery before.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, if Aubrey pulls back the camera,
yeah,
maybe I can get him to... Up.
He does a dance. Aubrey, is he a Mexican dancing horse? Is that what they call it?
He does do Mexican dancing, I believe, but he's a Frisian, so he...
Frisian. Got it. So for everyone tuning in, Alexa grew up on the property with a couple horses. I know one was named Budweiser, and that love has just continued through her adult life. So this is Indigo. She lives with Alexa, or he lives with Alexa down in Los Angeles, and he's quite talented. Awesome.
Let me go put him away for a minute, and I'll be right back with you.
Yeah. So for everyone tuning in, I want to hear what everyone's drinking tonight for happy hour. I have a little bit of our new Chenin Blanc. It's the 2019 vintage. I'll do a little flip around the camera so you can see it. So classic Molly Chapelet label, 2019 Chenin, nice and cold. We just released this last week to our members, so it's brand spanking new. This is actually the first time I've tried it in probably 3 or 4 months. Last time I had it, our winemakers sampled it out of barrel for us, and it was spectacular. It's delicious. Got some signature cab, cultivation. Hi, Akila. Yep. Sure, I know. I'm sure you ordered some Chenin. It's summertime. We're ready for Chenin. It's Chenin weather.
Oh, I need to get my Chenin too.
I know.
Okay.
Hopefully it's on its way to you.
I do have carrots though, but uh-oh.
Very sweet.
Oh, and that right.
Like this tasting today, like the last few have kind of been a way for us to get everyone to get to know the family. So Alexa is the youngest daughter of the Chapelets, and we're gonna taste some Chenin with her today and talk to her about her childhood on the hill and some other fun stuff. So, cheers, Alexa.
Cheers to all of you. Cheers, Chloe.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you for joining us all.
Yeah.
No, that he's too young. He's only 14. He can't have any wine yet.
So Alexa, you run the social media for the winery, and that includes Instagram, obviously. Do you want to go into like a little bit of your role and how long you've been doing it for the winery?
Yes. Hello, my friend. Hello, Josie. Hello, Pam.
Cheers,
hello, Tracy. Titus. I'm seeing all my friends come on board. Beth. Thank you, you guys. As you can imagine, a family with 6 kids, we've got a lot going on. And a number of years ago, I've been on the board for a long time, but since I live in Los Angeles and have 3 kids, my life was pretty busy. And I really didn't have time to work full time for the winery. And I was a little frustrated because I didn't feel like I had a part. And I got sort of in a tiff with my brother Cyril, and basically at the end of the day he said, hey, why don't you take over the social media? And that was in 2015, and nobody was really doing it, and I knew nothing about it, and I said, sure, I'll do it. So for 2 years I started just diving in and having some fun, and what I learned is I was reaching out to people that I kind of knew for all those years and really enjoyed getting to know them, and I just started having fun with it. So I continued that for 2 years, but I gave it back to the winery because I felt, since I'm in Los Angeles, it was a little difficult to get the content
sure.
that is the everyday life up there. So I gave it back to the winery. Long story short, they wanted me back. Imagine that. So
here we are.
So here we are. So I'm in Los Angeles, but I sometimes use my Los Angeles content. Actually, I do post all wine review stuff, but occasionally.
You get us to send you stuff when you need it, for sure.
That's right. Yeah.
So you kind of touched on it. What has been your favorite part about running the social media? I feel like it's obviously a really important part of being a business in today's age, and I'm sure there's lots of fun stuff you get to experience. Like, what would be your favorite part about it?
I really just enjoy connecting people and hearing stories and having them tell me their stories and connecting it back to other friends and stories that I have or of my parents. A lot of people have met my parents over the years, and little stories. I mean, even today, someone was telling me that they had our Chenin, and they used a Coravin to open the Chenin because they weren't going to drink much, and that they didn't realize it was a synthetic cork. And so the Chenin leaked all over.
Yeah, and
so,
it probably bent their Coravin needle too. So,
so I said I was
my mom just a couple days ago, she texted me. She goes, "I think I bent the Coravin needle on the Chenin," and that exact thing happened to her. So it's apparently a thing.
I didn't even know people used a Coravin on a Chenin. I just figured, you drink it.
So, of your family, you're pretty much the only one besides your aunt who lives in Los Angeles. And from what I remember, it was actually your dad who had asked you to go there, right?
Yeah. So how I ended up here was that my dad offered me a job I actually worked for the winery in 1981 and a number of, under Kathy Corson and Tony Soder. And then my dad offered me a job, I think it was 1984, but he said I had to stay in Los Angeles because that was our biggest market. And then it was near an airport, a big airport. So that's why I can blame my dad of why I'm still in Los Angeles. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, I just want to say to everybody who's on that during this time, it's been a very difficult time for so many people. And my heart goes out to all the people that have had, the families that have had major problems with the pandemic or illnesses in their family. And we all know what it's like to lose a loved one or to have someone going through a trauma like that. And I just feel so in touch with everybody. And I just understand, and I just pray for everybody who's going through it in different ways than we all are.
Yeah.
And it's just heartfelt that we care very much. And I just hope in some little way that Chapelet has a little bit of a break for you. Even, the thought was in this setting that I have here behind me is a little bit of break from people's inside home or, and then when you drink our wine, maybe it's a little break to lighten the load of what this means for everybody. So I just want you all to know that our whole family and our staff is very, very aware of this difficult time for everybody. And we're trying to do everything we can to help in any way. So
yeah, absolutely. I echo that completely, Alexa. So in terms of like your Instagram posts definitely revolve around a lot of like where you are now, the great outdoors, the beautiful scenery of both Pritchard Hill and wherever we are. And, I feel like that's a big theme in your social media posts. Why would you say that is? What is the meaning behind that?
That really came from my mom and dad. Everything from Chapelet, every wine that you all have, everything has come from my mom and my dad and their passions, and it has spread to all of us in one way or another. Whether you're drinking our Cabernet or our Chenin Blanc, it is because of my mom and dad. And my passion, not only for wine, but my passion of the outdoors, my passion for animals, my passion for beauty has come from my parents, who I bless every day that they gave me that insight to really cherish the things that are right around me and love beauty and love the hearts and souls of people and animals.
Yeah.
So that's, I have to, the one thing that I was asked in social media, I know that I was, when other people took it over, my voice is different. And I keep saying I can only do it my way. I can only say what's in my heart. And one of the things that's in my heart is the nature and family and animals like this guy.
Yes. And some other animals like Cabernet Franc, which was a huge success on our social media. Pretty fun.
Our bear.
I want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so that was really fun. And some of you who followed us when we were had our Cabernet Franc that was ripe during the fall, and we had a bear sneaking into the vineyard every night, knocking over the fence. And every morning our guys would go repair the fence, and this bear was coming in, and it was really interesting to see what he did. He ate the grapes, but he left all the stems. He was actually
He was very respectful.
He was very respectful. He didn't tear apart the vines. It was almost as though he probably sat down and took the berries one by one. Anyway, he was eating a lot, and breaking the fences. And was never supposed to say this, but we got the idea. Actually, my brother Cyril got the idea of, we were thinning the fruit then, and we let a lot of it just drop in the ground. And so all we did is pick that fruit up that we were thinning and threw it back over the fence. So the bears didn't need to come into the winery.
Trying to get him to stay over there. We'll give you this kind of fruit.
Yeah, and so I named him Cabernet Franc.
And
he
was history.
It gave me a lot of joy to do that, and I think a lot of people enjoyed the story, and actually people keep asking where he is, and I keep saying, well, we don't have ripe grapes right now, so we're hoping that he'll come back during the harvest time.
We're planning ahead. We'll probably put some of those berries maybe on the other side at a time. You talked a little bit about, obviously, your parents. It's it's the roots of everything. It's the foundation of this all. But your mother in particular is what we're drinking tonight. The Chenin is particularly her thing. I mean, it has her name on the label. I think us in the tasting room, I've said this before, we joke it's Molly's seventh child, because it really kind of is in a way. Is that backwards? It is backwards, but we got it. Here, I'll flip.
That's okay. You got it.
I have to flip my camera. Molly Chapelet. Gorgeous. So what do you, because I think everyone maybe finds something different from this wine. What is like your favorite part about the Chenin? Because to me, this is one of my favorite wines we make at Chapelet. Yeah,
I think this is a surprising wine. Most people haven't in the many years, a lot of the wine people do, but haven't given Chenin Blanc a chance to get to know the variety. And obviously in Europe, there's a lot of Vouvray that are made of a Chenin Blanc grape, and obviously it can be an incredible wine. But we've been making it since 1967 because it was planted up at the top part of our hill. And so my dad said, oh, well, we can get this out right away, but we'll make it in a dry style, more of a European style or French style. Yeah. And we did. And we were the first ones to make a dry style Chenin Blanc. And it kind of took off from there, but it was such a small, we don't have a lot of grapes. And right now we only have 3 acres. So we have a niche market because we've been making it for 53 years. And people know our wine. It has such great fruit. The floral and the apricot flavors are so great, but it's not sweet. It has this great fruit depth. It goes great with spicy food and sushi and Chinese food. The other things that are a little bit harder to prepare to pair up with maybe Chardonnay, but the Chenin is so clean and it's nice by itself with cheeses. And when people ask me, do you have a sweet wine? And I say no. But I usually get them to like the Chenin because it has the fruit flavor. And that's sometimes what people are looking for, whether they just use a term of sweet, but it's not sweet. But it's just so beautiful. And
I mean, and I think for Chapelet, we're obviously really known for Cabernet Sauvignon, but I think we're also really known for the Chenin. I feel like people in maybe even particularly locals or people who work in the industry locally really know Chapelet because we make this wine that really no one else in the valley does. Phillips told me before that there's under 20 acres in all of Napa Valley of Chenin Blanc, and we have 3 of those 20, or 3 of those, 18 or 19 acres. So it's
Right.
really kind of sought after and hard to find, but we do it extremely well. And Cabernet on Pritchard Hill, I feel like a key marker for our area is this like graphite or pencil shavings kind of flavor, and I feel like the Chenin also echoes that, and which is really beautiful on this white wine. You just don't expect
I just had my friend Sharon chime in saying Indigo's being such a good boy.
He is being a really
and that opens a segue to how did you say that I post a picture?
Oh, so on the bottom right-hand screen, there's a little box that should show up your first photo in your photo roll, and if you click that, you can choose a photo to share.
Oh, but I don't want to take my first one.
No, I think you can scroll over and
Okay.
Choose another one.
Okay, here it comes. The person who just chimed in, I'm going to only post one of their I was going to post 2 of their horses, but oh, here it comes. Let's see. Now that's the problem, is it didn't go to the beginning of my screen. Oh, and it's really small. That's a really big problem in my eyes. Okay. What, Aubrey? What do I do? What?
Do you know which photo?
Yeah, I do. I just can't see it very well with my Oh.
It is pretty small.
Okay, well, this is not the horse. Okay, but I have to show you. Can you see the horse that's up there?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, that horse was the very first horse when I was doing social media. I don't know why you can't see the whole thing, but that horse is named Chapelet. He is a gypsy vanner, and when I was first doing social media and I would, find everything to do with Chapelet, I found this horse. And so Ronetta, the owner, and I have become friends because of her horse named Chapelet. So that's a really fun thing. But here, why didn't it come to my pictures? Chloe?
Which one?
What did I do? Well, it's not showing me all my pictures.
So I think you have to click back on that bottom right-hand corner icon to go back into your photo roll.
It's in my photo roll, but it's not showing me. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to show you this one. Okay. Now that's a little bit big, isn't it? How do I make it smaller?
I don't think you can. We'll just have to look at it kind of zoomed in.
Okay. Well, what I have to tell you is that horse is the newest addition to the Chapelet name. And this horse is from Sharon and Bob Wilson. It is a saddlebred, and it was they were hoping for a girl, but it's a boy, and his name is Molly's Chenin Blanc. And
sweet.
they call him Magnum because they always drink our Chenin Blanc out of a Magnum. So,
which is the only appropriate way, frankly.
and I have to tell you, this horse is going to be a stunner. I've seen a lot of baby horses, and he's only like 2 or 3 weeks old, and he just carries himself. He's just quite amazing.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But
Very
I do have
sweet.
to show you this one other picture. Okay. So Aubrey, where is my other picture? Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, I'm losing people. Sorry. That's what happens when it's not at the beginning of my roll. This is why I had given them to you, Chloe. All right. I think I won't do this because it's just taking too long.
That's okay. Well, someone did ask for you to share a story about the history of the winery, happy, fun, sad, or something from your heart that has truly impacted the success of the winery. Anything in particular that jumps to your mind?
I'm sorry. Ask me one more time.
It was to share a story, happy, fun, or sad, that kind of was impactful for you and added to the success of the winery.
Okay. Well, success of the winery. Wow. So I have a little something. This is not quite answering your question, but I got married in 1997, and I was going to have the wedding up at the vineyard. I was going to be the first one to have a wedding at the vineyard for our family. And it was just going to be family and 2 close friends. One is Perrine Bise Loire from Domaine de Romani-Conti, and my other friend, Taryn Ruffin, or Taryn Swallow, who is a club member of ours. And anyway, it's just gonna be family. So I came up a couple weeks early, and I went to my dad's desk. And as you, I don't know if you knew my dad, Chloe, but my dad's a big man and very quiet and very stern. And he looked at me and said, "Alexa, have you decided what wines you want for the evening, for the night of your wedding?" And I said, "Dad, I know exactly what wine I want for my wedding." And he said, "I'm sorry, Alexa, I don't have enough 61 Latour for everybody." And I said, "Dad, that was my second choice." And he just smiled and he said, "Well, then what was your first choice?" Because he knows I was born in 61 and I always talk about the Latour.
Yeah.
So I said, "Dad, that's my second choice. But my first choice, it's going to be backwards again. This is my first choice. It's backwards, but it's a 1970 out of a Jeroboam. It was the first Jeroboam we opened, and it's a 1970 Chapelet.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what I told him was the wine I wanted in 97 for my wedding. And you can see how big it is. It's almost as big as Indigo's head. See that? That's how you know how big a Jeroboam is, right?
Yeah.
That's a good comparison, right? So he was delighted. That was probably one of my highlights with my dad, because he was it meant so much to him that one of his children would say that was the wine that they wanted out of all the wines out of his cellar of the 60s. You know, he used to collect Bordeaux's. And so that I wanted the 70 out of a Jeroboam, which had never been opened before. And then he just got this excitement. He goes, "Oh, and I think we should follow it up with magnums of 75 Cabernet, because that is just tasting great." And this was 1997. Then we get to the wedding and we have the dinner and we have lamb and we're drinking the 1970 out of the Jeroboam. And my dad stands up and says, "This is why I made wine." And he said, "There's nothing else that I need to do. This is it." And that wine to him, the wedding, the whole picture, the wine was phenomenal. And it was as though he had set out for his dream and reached his dream.
Yeah.
And so that, to this day,
Such a beautiful story.
means a lot to me. Indigo, he's wiping my tears.
Well, I think that's the perfect note to leave off on. If that doesn't encapsulate Chapelet better, I don't know what does. So, thank you everyone for coming and spending, some time with us today on this beautiful Saturday. Just a nice way to start, I guess, what we would call California summer now. From here forward, but
it's definitely hot enough.
It was a great time. Thanks, Alexa, for joining us.
I know I resisted, but I'd be happy to do it again, Chloe. And the next time, the next time I'll have some other surprise other than Indigo.
Yeah. We'll have the Chapelet. What is it? Molly Chenin Blanc on or something.
Well, and someone did ask if I could have Waldo on today. And I said, "Hey, I'll have my hands full."
Oh, so. Yeah, Waldo. Okay, next time. That's the
all right. Well, goodbye to all my friends. I'll see you all on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Reach out to me anytime. Oh, we have a special.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of you, I've been asking to have a special with my name on it. So the winery finally, as of yesterday, gave me a special magnum to offer you. And it's a magnum of Las Piedras. Is that right, Chloe?
Yes. 2015.
The 2015 is out of Magnum. And we're selling it to you if you want it. There's only 90 bottles. And it's $150 for the bottle. $1 shipping.
Yep.
And we do have a link in the bio of Instagram. Again, there's only 90 bottles. So if you're interested, our Las Piedras has become sort of a secret wine that people gravitate towards. We do not sell it in the stores. And I have a lot of people say it's their go-to for everything. It's a Bordeaux varietal blend, and the Las Piedras means the rocks. So it's in an area specifically that has huge boulders and Anyway, so we're offering that to anybody who would like it and the code is Alexa.
Alexa. And I put my email up in the comments if anyone wants to shoot me an email. We did not do a promo with the Shannon today, but if you would like to purchase it, we did just release it, so you can send me an email. I do not think it's available on the website yet, but we'd be happy to offer it to anyone who watched today. So thank you so much. And Alexa, I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, thanks, Chloe. Thank you all. Bye, Chris. Bye, everybody.
Anything else?
Nope. Okay, good night, everybody. Have a great evening.